Hello, everybody. My name is. I'm playing around. I'm not that guy. Welcome back to Sakura Stand PvP 101. Today, we're going to be covering the more advanced concepts of combat within this game. Today, I will be demonstrating with the Arbiter, as it has a majority of the topics here that are going to be discussed. So, today, I hope to explain and show auto parry, hyper armor, tracking moves, unique counters, iframe bypasses, silences, and then finally at the very end, I'm going to recommend some titles you should use to start off and some starter specs that you can pick up early on. To begin, this video is going to be a little bit chunkier than the last one. There's a lot to cover. I'm going to try my best to be as quick and efficient as possible, so please feel free to rewatch or pause if something is confusing to you. Without further ado, let's begin. So, in this game, there are tracking moves that can be defined as moves that are auto-targeting and put an exclamation mark above your opponent's head. These moves, to be countered, either have to be blocked or dashed with a very perfect dash with the iframes. So, as you will watch, I'm going to use the T on Arbiter. There's the exclamation marks, and boom, they are hit with the attack. Now, to keep moving on further, we're going to discuss silences now. Silences can be defined as a black aura around your character or your opponent. When you are silenced with this aura, you cannot block, attack, use abilities, or dash. However, you still have full mobility as long as the move stun is over. So once again, for example, I'm going to use Arbiter's Y here, another targeting move. And there, as you can see, the opponent now has the silence. I'm going to demonstrate quickly how you can block tracking moves. Again, I use the T. It doesn't work because it's a blocking dummy. Those are the general consensuses of tracking moves and silences. Of course, when you're silenced, you should run away from your opponent and wait it out. There's no reason to be aggressive or put pressure onto them. Now, let's cover the hyper armor mechanic. Certain moves in Sakura Stand will have a hyper armor property to them that you're gonna either have to watch a future video I post of the specs with hyper armor, or you're just gonna have to learn what has hyper armor or not as you experience the game. I'm gonna demonstrate with the Arbiter's R move, and as you watch, I will not be able to be hit out of this move once I activate it. See, even though I got grabbed by the Gojo and had the red hitboxes, my pillar still went through the entire ability. This is going to move us into the next portion of the video I wish to cover, which are auto parry. Certain specs in this game will have a unique block that automatically parries. As you will see here when I demonstrate, I glow green, I put up my block, and I cannot move at all. Specs that have this property are Hershesser of Human Ego, the Arbiter, and also Wild Hunt. I think there's a couple more, but I don't remember exactly which. I think Dullahan does as well. Anyway, these auto parry blocks can parry grabs. As you know in the last video, grabs cannot be blocked. However, with these specs specifically, you can actually parry them because it's instant. So as you can see here, Gojo's third M1 is a grab. I'm going to walk in and I'm going to parry the Gojo's grab with my auto block. 1, 2, 3. As you can see, the Gojo player turns red, making him negative, and I turn green with positive, making him susceptible to a combo. That pretty much sums up the main core auto parry, hyper armor tracking moves. So next, we're going to go cover iframe bypasses, and also unique counters. With this, I'm going to need my help with the buddy Gojo. So, Gojo with his blindfold on has a iframe move that is little red. I like to call it little red. Iframe moves, as you can say, don't have iframes, invincibility frames. That's the abbreviation. So if he does little red, as you can see, my degraded fairy E move did absolutely nothing to damage him. That is iframes. Certain moves will go through iframes, such as Sakuna Domain, I Am Atomic from Sid, and also Microphone, Cursed Speech from Utah. Those moves will go through iframes. There are certain moves with unique counters that aren't obviously counters. As we covered in the last video with the standless counter, Gojo with his blindfold down has max red. If I hit the Gojo while he's using max red, he will teleport behind me and put me into a counter. So as you will see, he teleports behind me and boom, flings me away. That is an example of a unique counter. Very few specs in this game has a unique counter as such, but they are important to cover. Now, with everything out of the way, let's move on to the final portion of the video where I'm going to cover the titles I recommend you use, and lastly, starter specs. So, as for titles, I recommend almost any from Mastery. Above all is solid, Big Boss is solid, anything that gives you free damage, free defense is good. The Dawn and 11th Hour are some of the best you can get early on, with the Dawn being the absolute number one for starter players in 1v1s, as every 1v1 starts during the daytime. Other titles that I would recommend for more experienced players would be Jack of all trades and Boss Raid if you go that way. Some titles do have downsides, but it's very few have pretty bad downsides. The one title that I see many people use, and you should absolutely not use, is Sacrificer. Sacrificer is bad, very bad. Please do not use Sacrificer. You're actively hurting your chances of winning by using Sacrificer. With titles out of the way, oh, my bad. With titles out of the way, I want to cover some starter specs. After this video, I'm going to make another video of each of these specs on how to use them, the combos, techniques that they may have, and also how to counter. So stay tuned for that. The specs that I am going to recommend for starter players to use are Itadori, which you can get at Mastery 1, Mochi, which you can get from a chest, Anubis, that you can get by doing this guy's quest over there with a stop sign. I'm also going to recommend stop sign itself. And finally, Red Mist, which you beat by a boss at a portal here that you can activate by killing curses and hollows. So if you're looking forward to those specs specifically, stay tuned. Let me know below which spec you would like to see first demonstrated. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.